it was a really nice experience, and I've been really glad that I came here. Okay, gonna go on a little road trip today to Cam Rahn. Yes, Cam Rahn. Not really a touristic place, but have a little bit of family history there with the war. So I'm gonna go and see what it's looking like. Hopefully I can get some good pictures. I think it's gonna be a really pretty drive. So yeah, I resent that I have no pockets in my pants. Super important to cover up for this ride. An hour in the sun is not what I want, at least not this way. And also I want to try to blend in on the road as much as I can. So I think being a little bit more covered like everyone else will help me to do that. So I have this big jacket that I'll wear, and I'll put my face mask on. And I wish I had some gloves to cover my hands, but then with the helmet and a hat underneath, I think it will be good. So, here we go. Bye. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. I know my hotel is like kind of somewhere back here, but I just got onto the street and it's definitely a pretty overgrown area. Not super maintained compared to Nha Trang, but I'm seeing these are like totally blocking the road, so I'm hoping I can just take like the little sidewalk, but definitely kind of strange. It looks like a really pretty street though. It's actually a little bit eerie. So you can see it's pretty overgrown on the street, and there's a lot of just like rubble. Okay, the view, homestay, and sure, do you have a view of the mountains? Just got into the room. It's okay. It's small, but looks very cute and cozy, just like our pictures. Probably gonna change and get out for some lunch. $15,000 for the sandwich. So that's like under $1. The drink, however, this is like the Starbucks in Vietnam. The drink was like $3. I don't normally buy these expensive drinks, but this one's really good. So. And right now, it's worth it to have a place with air conditioning where I can sit, eat my sandwich, drink my drink, chill, and figure out what I'm going to do next.
Had a really nice time at the beach and people were really friendly. And then the sunset, it got super dark out. I started driving, I thought my headlight didn't work. I stopped at a random shop, talked to a guy through Translate, and just like a messy miscommunication, but ultimately I figured out that I just didn't know how to turn the light on, but now it's on and it's good. Got to the hot pot place, felt instant judgment, like everyone just kind of looked and they were like, oh, what is she doing here? So we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'm just stupid, but I was under the impression that this would be like a cook the meat in the broth kind of thing, but they brought it out and the meat's like already in it, which is fine, but to me it just seems like a very expensive bowl of pho. So, I don't know. I mean, and expensive is extremely relative, but still. But the beef, get a little focus, yeah, looks good. I will eat all of the vegetables. You see? These kids in the background are being really funny. I can tell they're like checking it out, but they also don't want me to know that they're checking it out. As these things go, it's definitely a better deal if you split it, but I am alone. Okay, I'm gonna eat. See you later. I just pulled up to the beach, and this is the same place that I was yesterday, and it was absolutely packed around and after sunset. But now I'm here and there is not another soul in sight. So I've got some food to eat and I have the beach to myself. Okay, got my little bag of stuff. You can see the business really is just in the nighttime. I feel like I can post up in this shade though. It's kind of weird here. There are like quite a few resorts, and then there's some that seem like they're being constructed, and there's some that seem like they're kind of abandoned, but down this whole coastline is like all resorts only. Goodness, the sand is so hot. But I don't get the sense that there's a lot of people visiting here, especially like looking online. It just doesn't really seem like it's much of a destination compared to Nha Trang. But if there are people around, they're definitely sticking to the resorts, probably like an all-inclusive type of thing. The resorts have food, they have a bar, they have things to do. I've seen water slides. So everywhere that I've gone in the city, there's like not a single other tourist, but I kind of like that. It's kind of fun. I'm gonna get set up here and then show you my lunch. I am so hungry. Okay. I know pho is like the signature dish of Vietnam, and you have banh mi, which is like a kind of French baguette type of situation, Vietnamese French baguette, and they put some stuff in it, and it's a sandwich. And then this one, it might be cam something. The one that translates to broken rice, to me has seemed like the actual most common dish available. Cam ga, the broken rice. Usually it's the little like broken rice grains, and they'll have a bunch of different like meat options and some vegetables. And this is good for me because I can kind of just point to what I want and easily, and just not feel like I'm having that hard of a time ordering or not be unsure what something is. I mean, I don't really know what it is, but at least I can see what it is and if it's something that I want to eat, and I really do like everything. So this is my first time getting it for takeaway, but I wanted to bring it here to the beach. I had no idea that it was going to be quite this empty. Makes sense because yesterday I was the only Westerner here, and the Vietnamese just are not going to come to the beach to sit in the sun during the daytime. So yeah, but anyway, I got like 2 meats. I don't know, maybe I got like more than the normal because this was probably about twice as expensive as it's been when I paid for it in the past. But I have, let's see, open her up, no napkins. So we've got, so this one is pretty self-explanatory, just some rice, and then it looks like cabbage and a little carrot sauteed up together. So there's my vegetable portion. And then I initially asked for this meat, which is, it looks like a kind of pork belly with these little quail eggs inside. I always like to add eggs to get a little extra protein. But then I saw this mackerel, and I really wanted one of these, so I asked her to also have this. Maybe this is what made it expensive, because the person I'm staying with, my host at my homestay, she said that mackerel is very expensive here. So I think maybe this added to the price, and then obviously the fact that I got 2 meats is just more than the normal amount of food. But I'm really excited to try this. And then this always comes with this like soup situation made with some types of like winter melons or something like that. I think between all of this, I have a very big, balanced and nutritious lunch, and I have a nice view. I think this is sliced guava. With the cabbage, it's definitely a little guava in here. Very good start. I'm just not sure how I'm gonna eat it, but I do want to taste it. Ooh. It's good. Is this mackerel? I think it is. Maybe it's not. From what I've read online, the broken rice is kind of a traditional meal that was made back when farmers had a lot of these broken grains of rice that maybe they couldn't sell, but they still obviously weren't going to get rid of them, make use of them, so it's what maybe less well-off families would eat for dinner, and you pretty much would just make it with whatever odds and ends or anything that you have left in the house. So if you have some eggs, great. If you have some pork, great. If you have some vegetables, great. But pretty much the broken grains of rice with any kinds of meat, vegetable toppings. So that's why you see it kind of as like a random buffet, and I think even just like the different restaurant locations will have different stuff each day, probably based on whatever they get in the market. The pork is good. Gotta have one of these little quail eggs. They're so cute. Great hard-boiled egg. I haven't seen another foreigner here in Cam Rahn. I feel like this is the best kept secret. There's an airport here, so if you were gonna go to Nha Trang and you were gonna fly, instead of taking the good old night bus like I did, you would fly into Cam Rahn. It'll tell you you're flying into Nha Trang, which is here. It's not really clear. A lot of things say Nha Trang here, so I don't know if that's like saying, I don't know, like the main city, and then this is like kind of an outside city, but it's still part of the same city. I don't know. But anyway, you would fly into here, but I feel like I was saying before, no one really stays here. The people, I mean, anybody who stays here, I feel like Russian tourists come here a lot, and they come and stay in these resorts, but it's not like you have backpackers and hostels and people around like the city. So when I've been in the city, I have just been the absolute only foreigner. People look at me kind of crazy, but I really like it. Like, I love traveling to the places that other people don't travel to. I don't really need any kind of fancy tourist activities. I'm happy to just come sit at the beach, oh my gosh, when I have a motorbike, I just love to drive around. Last night it was really nice, you know, once the sun was down, because it cooled off a ton. I was actually chilly when I was driving. I just love to be like a local. I like to just go get food, get a tea, work on my computer, read my book. People ask what I do, like when I'm in different places. Oh, what have you done? What are you doing? And I'm like, honestly, I'm just living regular life, but I'm just doing it here instead of at home. I'm not really going on, I mean, I do stuff, but like, I'm not going on these crazy adventures all the time. It just is a crazy adventure in and of itself, because I'm just here. Everything is different. So just the simple mundane things like going to get some food and sitting at the beach are entertaining to me, because it's different from being at home. really nice and peaceful here. I like it. I can't get over that I'm the only person here though. It's kind of cool. Yesterday when I was at this beach, I stopped and got a little dessert thing, and this girl was like, oh, you're so cute, you can sit with me and eat it here, which was really sweet. But she invited me to sit with her and eat, and she and this other guy was kind of chatting with them a little bit. But then there were a couple of people who came up and asked to like have a photo with me, which I thought was pretty funny. So to me it just shows that they don't really see many of the foreigners like here. And then every restaurant, the restaurants that I've gone to, the people are like, oh, thank you so much. Last night the kid was asking, was it delicious? Will you come back to our restaurant? They just really appreciated me being there, and I really liked it. It was something I felt a lot in Thailand, just that like very welcoming hospitality, appreciation. And I haven't really felt it the same way here in Vietnam. It's just been very different. Not in a negative way at all, but just people have not been overly friendly and appreciative. But last night I felt like I got a taste of that really sweet and friendliness from people who are not numb to all of the travelers and the tourists. So it was a really nice experience, and I've been really glad that I came here. So I'm excited to continue my time here. I am going to read some on the beach and then move on to get a milk tea, which is my favorite part of every day.